Oh, it cut itself on. Well, hello, sweet honeybees. I didn't realize my phone battery was as low as it is, so I will try to make this quick. I've decided I want to try to start doing more just kind of casual vlog posts in between my podcast long length video posts. I just want to share a little bit more of like my day-to-day life experiences. Maybe try to find my community. I mean, that's what I'm doing by sharing the things that I've been through in life. I have been trying to find support because I don't really have much of a support system, and I have been trying to find a community of people that can relate and understand the things that I have been through in life, because I've realized how important it is to have a support system of people that can understand what it's like to experience the things that I've experienced. I'm in a support group for murder victims, but honestly, we only meet once a month, and I could use greater support than that. And then I have conversations with people here and there about like how they've been through sexual trauma too, similar to my own, but it would just be nice to have a larger community, a support system to help me stay motivated and present in my life, because there are some periods where I just really don't want to exist anymore. Healing is a process, and it can be a lifelong journey. There's all kinds of... I'm so sorry about my barking dog. Shadow! Sorry, I lost my train of thought with that. But healing can be a process. There's ups and there's downs. There are sometimes I just really feel like I don't want to exist anymore, and there are days that I feel like giving up, and I just feel like I don't matter. My story doesn't matter. That it's all been for nothing. And I'm the kind of person, I just want to feel like there's purpose behind everything, when I guess sometimes there isn't purpose behind things, but purpose is what we create out of those things. And I've just been facing my fears of being seen and people knowing the things that I've been through. I've been scared about how people would perceive me, what people would think of me if they knew what I have been through. And I've just been facing my fears by learning to talk about them and be vulnerable, because 1, I'm trying to find people who can relate. 2, I want to encourage others to also share their stories, because all of our stories matter. And I just really want to have a voice. I feel like it's common for humans to want to be seen and heard, and to have a community that sees and hears them. And that's just what I'm trying to create, and I'm trying to build. And oh my gosh, this fly. I'm trying to alchemize the pain that I've experienced into something beautiful and tangible within my life. I want to show people that they're not alone, but in the process, I have been feeling very alone. You know, I have conversations with people in person, and I make these really strong connections in person, and I feel really seen and valued. But then I come back to my day-to-day life and I don't feel that. I try to make those same connections via my YouTube channel, and I hardly get any views. And I mean, it's not about that, but it is kind of disheartening. And sometimes I just feel like, what's the point when no one cares? No one wants to listen. And it's hard not to compare myself to other creators sometimes, because I see other people sharing what they've gone through and their life stories, and they have all of these views, and then I may have 10 to 50. And I shouldn't compare myself to others, but it is hard. Sometimes I just feel like I'm unworthy. What makes me different? And there are probably going to be people that will tell me how ungrateful that I am, how negative I am, how I just complain. And I'm so sick of hearing that. And actually, I had a really long vent on Facebook last night because I could not sleep. And I even stated in my venting post, I was having an existential crisis. I was basically saying, is my existence even worth it? And I was talking about everything that I've been through in my life. And I said that I didn't want people asking if I've meditated or listened to clearings or all of these other things, because I have. I do those things in my life. I journal. I do all kinds of things. And I'm tired of the spiritual bypassing, because we are humans in this life. We are here to have a human experience. And those human experiences, they can be good and they can be bad. And we're here for it. And I'm just so tired of the spiritual bypassing, just completely invalidating the pain that is sometimes felt by having the human experience. And I had this long vent on Facebook talking about this last night. And this guy from a spiritual Facebook group that added me after I made a post talking about how the only false light is people telling you how you should and shouldn't live your life when there are multiple paths that lead back to home. This guy literally comes on my post preaching to me, telling me what I need to be doing with my life, and that he can help me even with my health issues, and making all of these assumptions about my health issues when I didn't even mention in my post. I briefly mentioned how I have lifelong consequences by some of the things that I have been through, such as my spinal injury from being assaulted. And I mentioned how I got fired for a mysterious illness right at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. I came to work after a snow day and I got extremely sick, and I was out of work for 2 weeks with doctor's notes. I had all kinds of tests done. They couldn't diagnose anything. And when I came back to work, I got fired. And literally right after getting fired, suddenly I feel better. I'm not sick anymore. And then I have this deep spiritual awakening take place. I fully just believe it was spirit telling me I wasn't supposed to be there. And just here's this guy making assumptions, preaching to me and saying we have to preach to people. And when people are in that low space and they're being vulnerable and sharing, preaching to them is not what they need. They need support, and asking them how you can support them instead of you trying to bend your will and tell them what they should be doing with their lives, how they should be handling things in their lives. And he even told me that he can't relate to the things that I have been through in my life that I listed in my post. But yet he's telling me how I should be approaching my life and how I should be handling it. And how is that helpful if you literally don't know what my experience is like because you have never experienced something like it before? And this is exactly what is wrong with our world. Like, I pointed this out to this man, and he immediately just started degrading me, telling me how awful I am, how I am twisted and sick, and how I deserve to suffer. And that is exactly what is wrong with our world. You know, people responding to each other with hatred when they set boundaries for themselves and when they're trying to be vulnerable. I don't know. I just really needed to come outside and like touch some grass. I've had my feet in the grass and I was just like, I just want to vent a little bit for a minute because I've had a rough 24 hours just feeling unworthy and feeling like I'm worthless and just questioning if I should even stay here. Life is hard. It's very hard. And it's okay to not be okay sometimes. I'm not like this all the time. And I'm not sharing my trauma because I want to perpetuate my trauma. Like, I'm trying to release it. I'm trying to heal it. I'm trying to regain my power over it. After having my power taken from me, having my voice taken from me, being silenced for so long through people shaming me and guilting me, people threatening me if I'm not silent. Why is it okay to express happy feelings, but it's not okay to express hard feelings? Why does one have a place in our society but the other doesn't, when they are all a part of the human experience that we are here to have? People not being able to express themselves is exactly why people are choosing to end their lives. And that's why I'm trying to talk about how I'm feeling and what I've been through, because I don't want to end my life. I want to be happy. I want to build something meaningful. I don't want to be a worker drone for the rest of my life. I don't want to be stuck in survival mode. I don't want to be scared anymore. And the only way I know how to do that is just by putting myself out there. Maybe one day it'll work out. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But you don't know if you don't try. And it'll never happen if you give up. So I'm just kind of trying to change the approach of my channel. I'm going to be posting more videos like this one, just kind of sharing my thoughts, talking about things that are happening in my life. And then I do want to keep doing longer format storytelling for my podcast episodes. And please, if you have a story you want to tell, if you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, I don't have a large community right now, but I do want to try to help you have that voice and to have that platform. Success is built collectively, and this project is not about me, even if it seems that way right now, because it's mostly been me. It is literally about all of us, because we are all one and we are all in this together. Anyway, I gotta go try to work on cleaning my house. I connected with a man who was wanting to explore the feminine side of himself, so he's offered to buy some of my clothes. He made a Facebook post about wanting clothes, and I was like, how convenient, because I'm supposed to be selling those clothes. And as we've been talking, We actually have a lot in common, and I think it'll be a new friendship, and it'll be really good. But yeah, I gotta go gather clothes. Might feel a little bit better if I eat something too, eat some comfort food. My neighbor made some spaghetti and gave it to me last night. I had a bowl last night and it was delicious. Probably gonna finish that off when I go inside. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, whatever time of day it is. I'm grateful for you, and I'm happy you're here. Don't give up before the miracles happen, and don't let anyone bring you down. I love you so much. Stay curious.